Welcome to The Other Discovery Show, the podcast that's not about podcasts. It's about all the other things we discovered this week. I'm Josh.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Daniel.
Hey guys, I gotta clear the air a little bit.
Did you fart?
It's a little bit. Nope, not this time. A little bit embarrassing. Last week, I told you guys about how amazing and how great this new app that I found for listening to podcasts was called Podcoin. And I'll admit, it was good. It was great. But apparently, the day after that episode dropped,
Literally,
they basically announced, hey guys, we're going out of business because we were paying you to listen to podcasts but not making any money.
Doesn't work.
so by the time you hear this episode, it will almost be the end of Podcoin.
But hey, if you used our promo code or whatever and got those 300 Podcoins, cash them in for helping kids or whatever.
Donate to charity.
Yeah, I donated in my little bit of time that I had the app. I think I had the app for like 17 days. In 17 days, I listened.
That's a very specific time to think you had the app, Kirk.
It doesn't say on here.
17 days and 4 minutes.
I don't know exactly, but like 17 days, 4 minutes and 30 seconds or so, something like that. Sorry, go ahead.
I checked it at day 14, and that was 3 days ago.
So day 17.
Exactly. Thank you.
Math.
So in that time, I listened to 1 day's worth and 8 hours worth of podcasts. So lots of podcasts, made a bunch of Podcoins, and I was able to contribute to clean water, literacy for children, helping for climate change, and something else that I don't remember.
And he tells you this so that you're very disappointed when you realize that the first thing he said was that they're closing down at the end of this week.
I know. It was so cool. I loved the freaking ability to donate to charity causes.
Do you know the total monetary value of what you donated?
They would break it down to like one Podcoin would give a kid one page of a book, like so that you can have an idea of what.
That is a lot of Podcoins per book, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so you don't have an idea of
Children's
how much
books.
you're actually donating.
Aren't that many pages? Depends
There
on
is
the
that.
age.
But yeah, so just wanted to clear the air because, yeah, the app that we recommended last week is ending this week.
Podcoin, rest in peace. You had
R.I.P.
noble ideas.
So yeah, to dive into some discoveries, I was on Popular Science's website and found a pretty cool article about, basically I'll just read the title. It's an inside look at the first solo trip to the deepest point of the Atlantic. To reach the bottom of all 5 oceans, this Texas businessman commissioned the most significant vehicle since Apollo 11. So it's a $35 million vessel that has been privately funded, and the ambition is to travel to the deepest points of all 5 oceans. And apparently that's a really hard thing to do because most of the times that they go down to these super deep levels, the vehicle is only meant to do it like one time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I read it. So this vehicle is being built with the idea of being able to kind of repeat deep sea adventures.
It's like the concept of like Elon Musk being able to like re-land a rocket and reuse it.
Yeah. So it's like a private venture. Apparently there's only 5 vehicles, I guess you call them, that can go past, I can't remember. It's like 4,000 meters or something like that. And they're all government controlled or like government,
Government owned, government funded.
Things. So this is the only one that's private and is the only one that's trying to do it like repeatedly. And it's got like an arm on it that can like take samples from deep sea stuff. And there's like a scoop that can, I don't know.
What's his goal? Just bragging rights of like, yeah, I've been to all these places? Or is
No,
it
but
like,
doesn't it blow your mind, Josh, that like we're
what's the
talking
point
about going to Mars
Yeah.
and we haven't even explored our own planet to every extent. Like there's
Like if you haven't been down there,
there's
then you don't know what's going on down there.
the ocean is actually very like unexplored.
When I used to watch Planet Earth, like my favorite episodes were the the deep sea ones, and then they came out with a
Blue Planet is sick.
And
That show is amazing.
Yeah.
that was basically like my dream because
Oh, it's amazing.
it's a different world, and it's basically space.
It's stuff you will
but it's
never
real.
see ever.
It's alien life on this planet.
I read one time that James Cameron made the Titanic movie, and his secret goal was so that he could get a submarine and go and visit the actual Titanic wreckage, which he did. He did do that. And so it's one of those things where, like, I kind of want to believe it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, man.
I don't care about deep sea exploration.
I think
That's
we
lame
picked
of
that. I picked that up.
I can't find a compelling reason to be interested in it. Maybe I just need to like watch like the Blue Planet or any of that stuff.
Blue
and,
Planet's
You haven't
amazing.
watched
Like-
it?
No.
You can watch anything that the Planet Earth creators
on Netflix,
do.
I think.
It's amazing.
I mean,
Seriously
maybe I'll
amazing.
watch it. Maybe I'll get interested in it. But like,
Maybe
I
I'll
don't know.
care about the ocean. Maybe not.
no,
Who
I
knows?
care. I care about the
Coin
health.
toss.
I
I use
care very
48
much.
plastic straws a day because
I throw plastic bags in the ocean because turtles are stupid.
turtles.
The
man.
ocean is basically what sets us apart from every other planet. So
So thank you.
That's
for
what
the,
makes us unique, my friend.
Thank you for the ad hominem attacks on how I destroy our ocean. So no, I care about the health of our ocean.
All right.
So I'm very, very interested in the health of our ocean. I just don't
Doubt
understand ocean exploration. So I don't know.
a
It's not
scientific
interesting to me.
journey.
It's because of exploring the unknown. And speaking of the unknown, I saw a video just the other day, and I don't think it's new, but I just saw it posted again, of a UFO video taken by the U.S. military. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm always looking for more legit versions of this. Like, don't get me wrong. And I feel like I've said this before, I want weird supernatural stuff to be real.
Yeah.
But I am skeptical when I see a video on YouTube. And I feel like in general, most of the time, they can just make it up. And so I don't really believe it. But this one is of a military aircraft that is looking out. Like, so it has like the military camera that's under the planes. And it's tracking on this UFO. And the pilots are talking about it. The pilots have had interviews after the fact. And the Department of Defense released this video. The New York Times did an article on it, and they said they would refuse to speculate on what it is, but they don't know what it is. And the pilots still don't know what it is. And then recently it came out again, and the U.S. Navy confirmed that that is a UFO. Before anyone gets upset, UFO just means unidentified. So it does not mean that that is an alien in there. It just means that they don't know what this thing is. They just know that it was oddly shaped. It was flying really fast. They don't know what it was.
Brock Lesnar in a wingsuit.
I mean, if Brock Lesnar in a wingsuit confused the U.S. Navy and the entire U.S. military, then I'm a little concerned about our national security. But I'll read you a little excerpt here.
I mean, Brock Lesnar in a wingsuit is the foremost
I feel
thing
like that
that our
would just be
national.
like that'd be like a flying
mean,
salami.
With lats like that, do you even need a wingsuit?
True.
Indie
That's
band
true.
name.
Yeah, he did.
Lesnar.
He did enough. He did enough roids that he doesn't need a wingsuit
But
anymore.
like, if I'm a country and Brock Lesnar comes flying in, that's of utmost.
No, but here's
concern.
the thing. And this is what caught my attention because normally I kind of just brush this off because it's a lot of times like a helicopter can look really weird if you only see like the bottom lights of it at night. You know, it looks weird. But this is a quote from an article, and this is a quote from the Navy. The Navy designates the objects contained in these videos as unidentified aerial phenomena, said Joseph Gradisher, official spokesperson for the Deputy
It's a
Chief of
UAP.
Navy. Yeah. Deputy Chief of the Naval Operations for Information Warfare. Then asked what the phrase UAP is now utilized by the U.S. Navy and not UFO, Mr. Gradisher added, the unidentified aerial phenomena terminology is used because it provides the basic descriptor for these sightings, observations of unauthorized, unidentified aircraft objects that have been observed entering and operating in the airspace of various military-controlled training ranges. So the thing that makes this one interesting to me, and I'll link this in the show notes, obviously, is that the military's like, yeah, we don't know what that is. Like, they've kind of just okayed it. Don't know. Some kind of UFO. And I like the idea that anybody is going to say, yeah, that's a UFO. Even though that doesn't necessarily mean aliens. It just means, I don't know what that is. That's good enough for me.
But what's interesting though is that like the Air Force or the military will freak out because if you have a UFO, you said it was in military like zones, like airspace. So that's
Apparently.
like a threat. So
And that's the thing that's terrifying about it, is because if you look at even the technology we had in the 80s from our military and the sophistication there, the fact that we, one, don't understand what that is, and two, what the sophistication and technology that other countries probably have in their militaries, it's probably some sort of military something, whether it's a drone or a manned vehicle, and we have no idea what it is concerning in its own right.
There's a old story from World War II. I think it was in California. It was somewhere on that coast, I believe. And it was during World War II, so we had like defense.
Did I not talk about this? Where there was like the battle over
Yes,
LA?
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And so stuff like this has happened, like where
Yeah.
the military's literally like shot at unidentified objects, and it's nuts. I mean, and this isn't like something that's disputable. It happened.
Yeah, it did happen.
You know, what it was is disputable, but the fact that it happened is...
That's why
I don't
whoever
know.
came
It's
up with
crazy.
UFO is a genius. Because it's not like it's an alien. They're like, we don't know what that is. That is such a cop-out. It's like, we saw something in the sky. I don't know what it is. But that's not a real thing. You can't just say, I don't know what it was.
I just think that scientifically, like, there's so much that we don't know. Like, this was kind of a different discovery I was kind of looking into, but... So the Hadron Collider, they just discovered a new particle, and I didn't research it fully before we were listening because I wasn't going to go with this one, but it just kind of like brings me back into like there's so many things that we don't know, and part of this article was talking about basically how there's a fourth dimension, and that this new particle that they discovered kind of proves that, and it's still in the very early phases of proving it. So there's still like some chance in the discovery that they made because it was some subparticles that they found that were extra, but the gravitons apparently, I don't know. It was a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, but basically boils down to there's so much scientifically that we don't know. So like UFOs, extra particles, how gravity, actually like works in the particle, and there's extra dimensions and string theory and all these kind of theoretical deep math black hole stuff.
It's crazy. Like
I like it personally.
I do
like
too.
that there's mystery in the world.
Yeah.
I like that there's things that are right on the fringes of things that we could understand and wrap our minds around versus the things that
Dark matter.
maybe it's a little weird.
Because in a culture where we feel like we know everything now and we've discovered everything, it's exciting to know that there's still things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like just people need to appreciate the unknown, because sometimes,
Like the
actually
oceans.
all the time in life, there are things that are unknown, and you have to be able to lean into it. You have to be able to understand that there are things that are going to be unknown, because that's life, and it's good.
Yeah, and if you want to melt your brain, look up kind of practical explanations of fourth dimension, of like what that means and how do you have a fourth dimension, because we live in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
We understand one dimension is a line, two dimension is you have a plane, three dimension is you have 3D space. What is the fourth dimension? And there's crazy stuff where they're like, there's 2 points on a page and you fold it in half, and then those points are the same point now, and that's
No, that's a wormhole.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
wormhole. That's fourth dimension, or that's different than fourth dimension. I think fourth dimension adds like time.
I think so.
Maybe. And first of all, that is one of the things that as soon as science starts talking about time, I'm lost. Because as
Donnie
far as I
Darko.
know, time is based off like us spinning in a circle
But it's affected by gravity.
in the sun. Yes. No, and it hasn't, relativity has not been disproved.
Well, gravity
even to
like
now.
bends time.
Yeah, no, black holes have so much gravity that time is distorted. But how does that make sense? Because time is relative. Okay, we don't have to get on this,
so
but it's
speaking,
weird.
Yeah. So speaking of the unknown, have you guys heard of ghost restaurants?
No, but I would go to
So
one.
what, are they haunted?
So there are restaurants that exist only on like Uber Eats or the
Uber
like
Eats.
delivery service apps.
Wait, does that mean they bring you a ghost to your house?
And what it is basically so say for example, there's like a Japanese restaurant and they're selling all of their Japanese food in their restaurant. What they do is they'll open up a sushi restaurant that's not a physical location. It's based out of the same location as their Japanese restaurant, but it only delivers on Uber Eats. So there's a kind of like secondary market of ghost restaurants that are being fueled by food delivery services. So specifically in Tampa Bay, here locally where we live, there's ghost restaurants that are being fueled by Uber Eats. So they have basically an iPad in the back, and they have extra menu items.
It's like a secret menu.
Sort of, but it's a whole restaurant.
But is it out of a regular restaurant?
Yes.
Or is it
Yes.
out of somebody's like
Yes. So for
kitchen
example,
in their house?
It's a secret
Somebody
menu.
makes you beanie weenies and they sit in
right?
your
Like
house.
that's I'm worried about.
So here's
this.
what it
This
is.
It's
sketching
a
me
ghost
out.
restaurant.
So it's like Outback Steakhouse. You can order Outback Steakhouse on Uber Eats. You can go to Outback. You can eat Outback. It's Outback Steakhouse. But they've got Shrimp on the Barbie Express run from an iPad in the back of the Outback Steakhouse that just has like 40 different types of shrimp you can order from. And they'll make it in the Outback kitchen and they'll send it to you from Shrimp on the Barbie Express.
They should have called it Back Out Steak Hut.
What? That is an amazing name. You are totally right. They should have called it that.
So
Say it again.
the Back Out Steak Hut.
It's so good. It is so good.
So you
I'm
order.
never calling it Outback ever again.
Yeah.
Back out steak hut.
Hey girl, you want to go down to the Back Out Steak Hut?
She'll be like, no, what is that?
But no, that's what it is. So there's this whole secondary restaurant menu that you can get just on delivery services because people are using it so much to get food delivered to their houses that you can just diversify your menu just for delivery. I had no idea that existed.
So I think that's like a really cool idea. I just, like Daniel said, I fear that it's just like
Is it unregulated?
I have this like weird mentality that it's like the dumpster food that you
Yeah.
can get if you're a hobo.
Here's the thing. I feel like this is, you know how all on the internet they would always put out this stuff like, oh, if you go to McDonald's, they have this secret recipe that if you say, I want a number 37, then they'll be like, oh, you know the secret number and we're going to give you a weird burger. I feel like this is the actual version of that, where maybe the cooks in the back of Outback sometimes want to make something different. And sometimes in restaurants, they'll make like house food. You know, they make something different for everybody that's actually in the kitchen to eat. They can actually cook. They don't normally get to experiment with what they're doing. And so I like to think that these ghost restaurants is them getting to explore their creativity.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really interesting if a restaurant started as a ghost restaurant and you couldn't visit it unless you had like a secret phone number or something. And then it was like very exclusive, speakeasy style, let it grow that way. That could be a really cool.
It's just a delivery.
Did you hear about the Domino's Golden Pizza thing?
What?
No.
There was apparently some secret way that if you like secretly ordered from Domino's, they would send you a pizza that had like edible gold like spray
this is what I'm
paint and
talking
stuff
about.
on it.
This is what I'm talking
And
about.
it was
I
like
feel
a golden pepperoni pizza with like gold flakes on it.
I question whether that's actually real or like an
I
internet
don't think
thing.
that's real. I think that's an internet thing because I don't think the employees of
Why would-
Domino's
Yeah,
wouldn't
why?
just
Have
steal
gold.
them.
No, I
stuff.
used to work at
Gold.
Starbucks, and when people would come through and order like a unicorn sprinkle frappuccino, I'd be like, "How many pumps of vanilla? I don't know how to make that. Like, what do you want? Like, just tell me like what you want, and I'll make it."
It's because if you
Like-
go on the internet and say, if you go to Five Guys and you order a shenanigans number 12, then they're going to give you 17 burgers on top of each other, and people will do it, and they will do it. They're going to think, oh, it's a secret menu item, and they're going to go do it, and people at Five Guys will be like, what?
But wasn't there
we
a
have
whole
like
thing
a
with
single
like
or a double.
McDonald's has a bunch of like free add-ons that you can add as many as you want up to like 99. So at the McDonald's that they had like the self-checkout thing where you could create your own like hamburger, you could order like 99 slices of tomato on it, and they would have to like
Who would want that?
no, but somebody like went in and did it and like maxed out all of the free items on it, and like they had to bring it out to them. I don't know. It's probably internet.
It's
like
just someone trolling.
Yeah, it sounds
them.
like a
debauchery.
YouTube video is what it sounds like.
The internet has in some ways ruined society.
So today I learned that like the standard showtime for films was not common until 1960. So previously most films would literally just play on a loop like all day long, and you could come in and out and like any point in the movie and watch it. Like that's the way the movie theaters used to work. And one of the first movies,
Sounds terrible.
it does, doesn't it? Like
Especially
it sounds
if it's 4 hours long.
But I think a lot of it
really
has to do with
interesting.
the content. Like they were making content that didn't have to be watched linearly. Like it was just like little bits, little like things that didn't have to go together.
So
think
they
it
were
was
making
just that
4D
they-
content back then.
they didn't have TVs.
They didn't have
true.
TVs.
What year are we talking about right now? Where they didn't have TVs?
It wasn't common until 1960. Like the whole like
Okay.
there's a 1 o'clock showing, a 3 o'clock showing, like that
Yeah.
kind of
Sure.
thing. Showtimes weren't. So previously, most films would just play on a loop and people could enter at any time. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho required that people watch from the beginning to the end and made showtimes more standard. So that was one of the first movies that made showtimes standard because it was like, you got to watch this thing from the beginning to the end.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
You can't come in the middle of this movie because you'll
No, have you guys
ruin
seen
it.
Psycho?
I actually haven't. I've wanted to watch it. Maybe that's the one I need to watch this
seen the-
spooky
It's
season.
good.
90s one or 2000s one.
I want to watch the
No,
old
no,
one.
no,
I want to
no,
watch the
I haven't
OG.
seen the original.
Hitchcock. You have to watch the original. That's the good one. Because that was like Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
as
Vince
soon-
Vaughn. It was not great.
You're getting into borderline territory as soon as you're like, okay, my lead is Vince Vaughn. It's like, all right, no, I'm not going to sign up for that.
I've not liked him in anything he's ever done.
Swingers was good, but that's and Dodgeball, and that's it.
Vince
I mean,
Vaughn
but
he plays a very good Vince Vaughn
Yeah,
though.
like
literally
Wedding Crashers?
He
anyone
plays
other,
a very good Vince Vaughn is not a good pitch.
literally anyone other than Vince Vaughn would make those movies better.
No, you
Swingers
didn't like
was good.
but
because
not if you're
Wedding
looking for a,
Crashers?
Yeah,
No,
Wedding
that movie
Crashers
sucks.
is good.
not if you're
No, but
looking for
here's
a
the
good
thing.
Vince
No,
Vaughn.
it's good.
You need him to be kind of douchey.
Yeah.
That's like where he's like shining. And that was Swingers and that was Dodgeball. No, Dodgeball he wasn't really a douche, but also Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. He's like the kind of not great best friend.
Yeah. He's there, but he's not great.
So today I learned the film Homicidal, which came out in 1961, featured a fright break before the climax of the film. The break gave the audience a chance to leave and get a refund before they got too scared. It was funny though because it was a caveat. The people that left got their picture taken and added to quote unquote the coward's corner, which was then used to advertise how scary the film was.
So they would shame you if you did choose to leave.
It sounds like a
amazing.
steakhouse that tries to make you like eat like a 48-pound steak.
They don't try and make you, but if you're trying to win a free steak, you're going to have to eat 48 pounds of
No,
steak.
but then they have a loser's wall instead of
Yeah.
a winner's
Yeah, that's
wall.
what I'm saying. But I thought
They
that
probably
was
have a winner's wall too, but it's like 7 people, and the loser's wall is like 400 people that have tried
advertising
and
in
paid
the 60s.
$70 for steak.
Crazy, man. Advertising in the 60s.
No, that's really interesting though that they literally let them have a chance to get out of it, but didn't
Like, we're going to scare you real bad. Are you sure you want to watch this? Are you sure you want to watch this?
I feel like that same marketing would work really well currently with a really depraved, messed up movie. You have a movie where like the first like third or half of the movie is really messed up.
My
And
question is, how depraved and messed up would it have to be nowadays?
I mean, I guarantee people would walk out of a movie if you make it even a little depraved and messed up.
Yeah.
If you give them the option.
I mean,
Because people go into movies and have no idea what they're getting into. And so you'll have some percentage of people and then you use that as your advertising.
I definitely saw like a Saw movie in the theaters and nobody left. But people did
Those
leave-
movies,
people did leave during Jackass
Got real
because
weird.
people. That was the only movie I've ever seen somebody throw up in the movie.
That and Cloverfield.
Yeah, because but
That was a
Cloverfield was like
completely
a
different
motion
reason.
sickness thing. But Jackass was because they were doing something very. I won't
Because like
describe
anytime
it.
you see like 12 people like throw up and poop all over the place, it's,
No, it was I literally that is mild compared to what the thing that triggered people throwing up in the theater was. But literally, I saw somebody walk up to the corner of the theater and throw up.
Those movies are nasty. They're real nasty.
yeah, they get rough. They get rough.
Okay, so I don't know that I can verify this, but I saw it on a Reddit thread, and literally, I was just looking through this random thing of I was injured. How do I make sure I like protect myself? It was a guy who was going in for quadruple bypass surgery, and he just put his picture up on Reddit. And he was saying, okay, I'm about to go into this huge surgery. I'm going to just say, bye, everybody. Wish me luck. And I will see you on the other side. And I went and looked through the comments just randomly. And there was so much interesting stuff on there. Because, first of all, people were being super wholesome, trying to give him like tips and everything. And the other thing that they did was there was a paramedic on there. And he said, if you have to sneeze, you need to hold a pillow. You need to like really hold it, because if you sneeze and you have broken ribs, and which on a bypass surgery they split you down the sternum and they split it open, and then that's how they get into your heart. And so he said you need to be hugging a pillow. And so they're like, okay, do you need to be worried about sneezing? And somebody in the comments, this was pretty deep down the comments, but I saw it and it was super interesting. And so I wanted to ask you guys, do you know of any way to stop a sneeze?
I've heard if you look up,
At the light?
it helps.
That makes
No,
me
that
sneeze.
No, that
you
makes you
sneeze.
sneeze, right?
That makes me sneeze for
no,
sure.
not like at the light. Like you just look up and close your eyes. Like it's something about the way that it opens up your passage.
Okay, I will throw this out there. Have not confirmed it with anybody. Have not done any research other than just seeing it, but I wanted to just throw it out to you guys. There was a paramedic on this thread. He said if you are about to sneeze and you need to stop it, you push where your mustache would be. So like on your upper lip, you push hard, and he emphasized hard, and he says it stops the sneeze every time.
Push hard.
I don't know if that's true.
Have you tried it?
No.
Then you don't count.
Have you tried it?
No.
You can't verify it.
I can.
I told you. I disclaimered all of this. That I don't know if it's
I know.
true.
I can stop. I can stop sneezing. I can stop sneezing with sheer.
I can stop sneezing whenever I
Just
want
my-
to.
just
with
by
sheer
will.
mental willpower
No,
alone.
you can't. Oh, that just means
Watch.
you're just like doing.
I'm
a
about
half
to sneeze. Oh, I'm not sneezing now.
That is
Sheer
not-
mental willpower.
No, I worked in food prep. Like there was definitely times where I was like, I have to sneeze, and I was like, I can't sneeze right now, and I'll just be like,
And you didn't sneeze,
and
did
I
you?
didn't sneeze.
No, I
Yeah.
end up doing like a half sneeze where it's like.
You-
That's what it comes down to. Where you're just like,
well, here's the thing.
it's not like something that you can actually like get rid of it.
No, but you didn't like really
Like,
sneeze.
No, you
When
just
have you
fully
ever-
commit to it?
Most of the time, people have zero reason to not just sneeze, and it's a very relieving thing to sneeze when you have to sneeze. So most people just sneeze.
Yeah,
If you
because
need to
that's the
sneeze,
normal thing to
right,
do. That's
right,
your
right.
body telling you.
If you need to
Get that out of
sneeze
there.
and you mentally power through it, you cannot sneeze.
No,
It's
but
definitely a thing.
sometimes I've caught sneezes that I only have like half a second to respond. Like I'm like, and then I gotta sneeze. Like I don't have a choice to like put my fingers up to my mustache or look up to the
You didn't
light
even
or-
know about the mustache saying, "Get out of here with that."
I'm just saying I wouldn't have had the option.
Yes, you would have. Put your fingers up to your mustache right now. See how fast that is. Do you
But
see?
I couldn't press hard enough.
Push harder.
So I've started to appreciate the art of the sneeze. So you know, how some people they have like really like small little achoo, like little sneezes, and some people are like they power yell when they sneeze.
My wife scares me
mean like
every time
Dave?
she sneezes.
Yeah,
I
it-
power sneeze.
So like there's all kinds of different sneezes out there. And there someone I used to work with, they sneezed and it sounded just like Michael Jackson every time. It was amazing. It was like "Woo-hoo." I was like, that is the best sneeze I've ever heard. So
You've been practicing?
so every time I have to sneeze now, I try something different. So I've got like a Mario sneeze that I can do real well.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't have to sneeze right now. I do like a high pitched sneeze, which I was doing on
What
our
does your
trip to
Mario
Alabama.
sneeze sound like though? Like it's me, Mario.
No, it's probably like,
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that noise. I'm sure.
And so I've been trying out different sneezes. So I challenge everyone.
Trying out different sneezes.
Everyone has to sneeze.
it's important to do.
So next time you're gonna sneeze, try and go high pitch or go low pitch. Or, yeah, like do something with it and just experience the sneeze in a new way. I promise you, it'll change your life for the better.
Remember our choir teacher? The way he would sneeze, he'd be like, "Sneeze."
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I
I'm
will
saying.
say it was unique,
That was
and
just
everyone remembered his
him.
sneezes.
Take your
I don't
sneeze
know.
to the next level, guys and girls.
For the last discovery of the week, we would like to recommend Ezra Bell, a band from Portland, Oregon, who has a lot of really interesting style. They have a lot of horn section. They have saxophone. They have a lot of interesting stuff going on. And they wanted me to let you know that they are going to be in DC, New Jersey, and New York City. They have a new album released in 2020 from Dutch Records, and it will drop in January. But this song that I'm recommending is from their self-titled album called Ezra Bell from 2018, and it is called A Jug in the Road. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.